In today's show, we're going to talk about Wonder Woman 1984. Is it going to get pushed back? I certainly hope not. Scarface is getting rebooted for the 100th time. And we finally may have connected the dots on Rosario Dawson's role in the Disney Star Wars show coming to Disney+. All that and more, starting now. Hey folks, welcome to the Commander Shipp Show. I'm Kenneth, Commander Shipp, back with another episode covering over your biggest news, your biggest movie news topics this week. I'm joined by the wonderful Tom DeGrow. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing just great tonight. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
No complaints, unfortunately, except for this first topic. So, I was really looking forward to reviewing Wonder Woman 1984 in June, but the damn Rona pushed it back to August. And now, so this is a twofold problem. Tenet, so this is Christopher Nolan's movie that's been slated in July. It's been touted as possibly the movie that's going to kick off the movie season for us. That Russell Crowe movie notwithstanding, we're just not going to talk about that.
Nobody needs to talk about Russell Crowe.
Yeah. So that may take the August slot, because again, these are two Warner Brothers movies, so they want to try to give them space to be successful. So they don't want to push Tenet into a spot where it affects Wonder Woman 1984. So Tenet may get pushed to August, which may push Wonder Woman to like a November, December time slot. Tom, your thoughts?
I'm a big fan of Nolan. He usually does great work. But people have been anticipating Wonder Woman. Tenet's hardly been on my radar.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman, I've been waiting since the ending credits of Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Going back, so during our rewatch, which will be out next Monday, so definitely y'all should go check that out when it comes out. The trailer got me hyped. Like that Blue Monday cover inside of it was fantastic.
Yep. Seeing
the golden eagle armor from the Kingdom Come run.
Yes.
So I was like, like this is gonna be amazing. I also picked up a little detail I'm gonna bring up when we do the rewatch between her golden armor and her mother's costume in this first movie, which is a very nice little hidden detail. I was like, ooh, that's clever. But that said, yeah, if this gets pushed back again, I know we got to be safe. Even my lament on this is not being mad at the studio for doing the right thing. We're just lamenting. It's sad.
Yes.
So I want everyone to understand. We're not saying like how dare they. It's just sad.
It's just about freedoms that you're getting in the way of. And no, it's the right decision that we don't like to make. It's kind of like, when you're over 50 and you have to get a prostate exam. You just have to do it. You
just got to do it. Yep. Hey, we can talk about your physical health on this show, right? We want you all to be safe and be good nerds for a very long time.
Yes. And if you were over the age of 10 when Knight Rider came out, you may want to consider getting a prostate exam.
What, Tom? Although surprisingly, a movie that finally has a release date and is not getting the VOD treatment that we thought was going to happen. I thought this movie was going to be a prime VOD candidate. Apparently I was wrong. New Mutants has a release date in August on the 28th. That just seems insane to me, considering how many times this has been pushed back.
Part of me, I'm just wondering if there are two schools of thoughts that are going on in my head. One is both of them are kind of under the screw it umbrella of, all right, let's just release it in August. Everyone's going to be hungry to go back into movie theaters, and it'll do okay.
Yeah. Or X-Men movie. We'll see how. Yeah. We'll just see how it does.
Yeah. Or they're just like, we don't care anymore. Just release it.
Sadness.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought with them finally getting it out this year. That was my initial thought. I was like, oh, finally, we can fit this in the schedule somewhere. And then with Rona hitting, and just like had it compounded more on top of that. So I don't know. To that whole crew and production, like I hope you get out. I hope you get seen soon, because I hate for a movie to get boxed up like this. It literally has like it's the most modern shelving we've seen in a long time. It really is. I'd have to.
It would be very surprising if it got shelved, because like the amount of process that you have to go through in order to get a movie greenlit these days, especially a movie of that scale. No one just says, wait, okay, so you're an archaeologist teacher and you fight Nazis? Sounds good to me. I mean, few people get those types of opportunities. You know, you're a teenager who's best friends with a 55-year-old scientist who's been discredited. Cool. Wait, they time travel? Yes.
Actually, go check out John Mulaney's Back to the Future skit. That is... Oh, gosh. Yeah, it does...
Bad segue to Umbrella Academy, which I'm sure I have seen it, you have seen it, and I'm sure many out there in Nerdland have seen the trailer, which is wonderful, a good use of Zoom and such.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the Umbrella Academy Season 2 trailer, which we got a update that it's coming out July 31st, which I was like, what? So one, that's awesome that it's coming out soon. But two, it was a really cool trailer to like get that out. I don't want to say like uplifting might be a little too much, but I don't know. Maybe it might have been for some folks just to get like a glimmer of good comic news.
It was
stuff
was
still
fun.
coming down the pipe. Yeah,
it was definitely fun. Just especially with them recreating the "I Think We're Alone Now" scene. is definitely good. I'm still on the fence with season 1. I was okay with it. I didn't think it was as mind-blowing as I think many people thought. I know, but I'm looking forward to. I'm still going to see season 2.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I don't have a ton of strong memories from it though, so I don't know.
Exactly.
But it probably sticks in my mind better than my Stranger Things feelings. So I'll give it that. Yeah, we'll just drop that nugget in there. You can attack me in the comments if you want to. Like, what did he mean by that? It's like, come at me. We'll talk about it. Or maybe we'll do.
I'm holding myself back here. Or maybe
we'll do a Stranger Things show. All right. Before we continue, folks, remember you can follow Nerd Union on your favorite your favorite podcast streaming service. So we're on Spotify, Google, and eventually Apple Podcasts. We're working on a little thing there. And if you love our video content, you can always check us out on our Facebook page or YouTube. So let's talk about So you brought up Legally Blonde earlier as we were working on.
Yeah.
So what's going on there?
I'm actually more excited about this than I am Umbrella Academy. I thought Legally Blonde was a great show, great movie. I thought Legally Blonde 2 was an okay movie. But I'm kind of excited about this one because Mindy Kaling is the writer.
Yeah.
For this, which is
really
good.
She's really good.
And Reese doesn't have to do this. I think she's doing a lot of revisitations to some old stomping grounds, and I don't know if that's because she's being nostalgic or if I think it's more that she's being nostalgic, but.
Well, and I would say I think it's good that it's coming off a drama success, not like I'm trying to recapture magic because I don't have anything else I can do. So I think that's a very clear distinction I would like to make there. It's like she's been doing really, really great on the what was it, Little Fires. It was the one on I'm messing that show name up, but on Hulu with Kerry Washington.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't want to say like career resurgence, but she's doing really good right now. So,
yeah, I think that, and also she had a guest voice on Big Mouth as
Wait,
Coach Steve's
what?
girl. Yeah, she was Coach Steve's girlfriend.
Oh, what?
Yes, they actually got Reese Witherspoon to play Reese's Witherspoon in the Valentine episode.
I thought, wow, I'm dumb. No, because I just thought that was like I didn't think the joke was that was who was voice. I guess maybe I just didn't see the credits. Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Because, when I was watching it, I may have had an edible, and I was just like, wouldn't that be cool if that was Reese Witherspoon actually playing Reese's Witherspoon? I'm like, what if it is? And then I looked it up, and
sure enough,
lo and behold.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a while for production kicks off on that, but definitely look forward to it when it comes out. Another one that's production is going to be a little while off. There's a Scarface reboot coming with Michael B. Jordan potentially playing the lead role. And before you ask, Scarface has been rebooted quite a bit. So there's a 1923 and a 1938 all black and white versions of this. So it's a very classic immigrant story, establishing oneself. And then the Pacino version in '83 is the most bloodiest version of that. And again, it's not a knock on that version whatsoever. I mean, still love that movie to some degree. But so this threw me off a little bit, but there's some kind of cool things going on. So real quick, it's a Coen Brothers script, which got my eye. I was like, okay, all right, it's interesting. That I'm like, what twist or what are they going to do to modernize and or put the brother twist on it like they normally do? Luca Guadagnino, who directed the recent Suspiria remake and the Academy Award-winning drama Call Me By Your Name. Academy Award-winning, got him that Oscar nod, so he didn't get Best Director for it, but it won in other places. It's like, all right, this production's shaping up to be really good, and Michael B. Jordan's doing really well on his own right. Yep. So
it's not another movie that needs to be made necessarily. I don't know what smartphones is going to add to the Scarface story, but
yeah, in that regard, as a reboot or remake, I'm very ambivalent on remakes. So I agree with you in that case. But I think it's the Coens that are the most interesting piece of that to me.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna wait and see what story they need to tell from this. Like, if it's something new, great. But also, it could have had a different name, a newer name.
Could have had a different name. But they're banking on that name appeal. They're like, we gotta get butts in the seats. As if Michael B. Jordan's name alone wasn't going to be able to do that, but okay.
And 5 to 15 years later, there's going to be a bunch of college kids with a picture of Michael B. Jordan on a poster that says Scarface on it in college.
Oh gosh, the Killmonger Scarface mashups will be amazing. Amazing.
Say hello to your king.
Say hello to your king. Gosh. All right. If someone wants to take on that project, that fan art for me, and put it on the Nerd Union page, please, I would love that. Cool. Spike Lee, one of my favorite black directors, is doing a Vietnam movie, and I don't want to say like Vietnam's been played to death. Vietnam has been played to death. But it's kind of playing off a Three Kings vibe, if you remember that, with Ice Cube and George Clooney there, where they're...
It's funny because I was going to say, like, man, there haven't been enough Iraq War or Afghanistan War movies yet. But I think it's partly because we're still in them.
Yeah. Oh, God. Sad. But Chadwick Boseman's going to be in one of the leading roles. So it's kind of like a flashback of him as a young soldier, as they're like trying to secure some gold in Vietnam, and then this group of Vietnam vets that are going back, decades later to go and secure that gold. So that's the basic premise. If you haven't seen Miracle at Saint Anna, Spike Lee can do a really good job filming action scenes. So if you're like, has he ever done a good job doing that? I was like, go watch that movie. So it's not bad. Or another example that's a little more again, not war focused, but Inside Man. It's also not a bad example of like a thriller style that shows Spike's action chops. So I'm really curious about it. But we should also note it's coming out on Netflix June 5th. So this is not anything being produced or coming out or later. It's already made. It's in the can. You can go check out the trailer on YouTube right now, and then we will see it in 2 weeks. So pretty soon, pretty close.
Yep, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm gonna free up my weekend for that one.
All right, we got two more news topics, folks. Stay with us. We're going to talk some what if Star Wars news. You may have seen on the Nerd Union page, we had the original script for Star Wars Episode 9 was going to be Duel of the Fates. Had a lot of different story elements that were going on there, and there's been some concept art that has come out. And you never really want to bank too much on concept art because while it can be a cool vision into some what ifs, it's not always substantial of this is concrete of what was going to happen.
Yes, please reference the C-3PO early concept art.
That said, though, if you've gotten to read Colin Trevorrow's script and look at those production stills, it is shocking how close those replicate what was in that script. So you just kind of played a what if in your head, and you're like, that's some of these ideas are really cool. Like going back to Coruscant, having Finn really gather rebels, really go on that recruitment mission that was hinted at the end of Last Jedi, because they had 20 people on the Millennium Falcon, and then Rise of Skywalker, just all of a sudden they're back to full strength ish. So I really enjoyed the things I saw in there. One thing that stood out, Cinema Blend brought this up about Rey's new lightsaber, that it was originally going to play a little bit of a bigger role in Rise of Skywalker in two ways. The Duel of the Fates script, she had a double-bladed lightsaber, so she got to make her own double-bladed, which is pretty awesome. Nice. Yeah. Sweet. But even if you put that aside, Rise of Skywalker, she ignore Duel of the Fates, just focus on Rise of Skywalker. She was going to build her own in the movie, kind of show how that works, using the Jedi scripts or the Jedi textbooks to read that, and then make her lightsaber. So as you know, if you watch Rise of Skywalker, that happens very late in the movie. Not the building, but she just busts out this yellow lightsaber. And I really think they missed an opportunity to let her own that in the movie sooner, right? Even if you're not going to show us how she built it, it was just, again, it's not something that doesn't really move the story forward, doesn't have to be a thing. But, Luke lost his in Empire Strikes Back, comes out with his new green lightsaber, we don't bat an eye. If she had started the movie with the new yellow lightsaber, I wouldn't have batted an eye either, because she just, the one she had just got destroyed. So,
actually, that you made me think about something. That someone loses a lightsaber in the second film of each trilogy.
Let's see.
Anakin gets his destroyed at the factory.
Oh, that's right. He has to borrow one. And then ends up making his final blue one there at the end. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice catch there. Yeah.
Huh.
So again, if they wanted to break from tradition of that, that's okay. I just think tacking her lightsaber on at the end, it's that would have been cool to see that the entire time. I mean, yeah,
I'm a little done with double-sided lightsabers. I wanted to, I wanted to see more of traditional samurai long and short, or double short, or something along those lines. But it's cool. It's cool. So, I mean, she's a staff user.
And that's so. But the only other thing I thought about, aside from either if you're gonna go traditional lightsaber and have a yellow hilt, it's yellow color and stuff, cool. But to your point, if you're not gonna do the double-sided and you talked about her being a staff user, so why not incorporate I thought the no-brainer was like, oh, she's going to turn her staff into a lightsaber. She's going to incorporate the fighting style that she grew up on Jakku and how she learned fighting that way, and just incorporate that into her lightsaber style. And I'm like, that would have been a great exploit, like a very visual nod to the character, all in one. And been like, this lightsaber is definitely Rey, and her fighting style represents being Rey, but like adding in Jedi tradition and things into it. Like, I think that would have been all encapsulated by doing that. And yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't happen, but it's okay.
Just in a side note, I realized that Rise of Skywalker was this past Christmas. Because of all the things that have been going on, it feels like a year ago, 2 years ago.
It's like it hasn't been that long ago. It's like it just came out on a couple weeks ago on Blu-ray and on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, the big Star Wars news. So let's see. A week or two ago, we talked about Taika Waititi getting a new movie, but this is not related to that. This is about Leslye Headland. Remember, she was one of the directors and helped co-write Russian Doll, and she was going to get to direct a woman-led series on Disney Plus. Now, add in Rosario Dawson. While it has not been confirmed that Rosario Dawson is playing Ahsoka Tano in Mandalorian Season 2, but that's the wide speculation, is that that's who she's going to play. So Disney hasn't confirmed it. Even the news we gave you last week with Katie Sackhoff, technically still hasn't been confirmed, but we're hoping that will get out here soon.
Yep.
But now the idea is that the Leslye Headland show that she's going to make is for Tano. So, like, yeah, she's going to pop up in Mandalorian, but she's going to get her own live-action show. So it's not going to be like an additional Ahsoka Tano show and be in the Mandalorian and another woman-led show. No, she's going to be the woman lead in that show. And my brain just went.
That is actually, it's cool. It is. I'm happy that this is it. I hope it works out. Regardless if Rosario Dawson plays it or not. I think Rosario can be good. Could be great for old Ahsoka, or older Ahsoka. But
Tom, I want it. Tom, I want it.
I'm hoping it's going to be like one of those things where, you know, Disney's trying to be clever, just like, you know, J.J. Abrams, and they're like, no, Benedict Cumberbatch is not playing Khan. It's a different villain. And oh, surprise, you nerds were right all the time. You scrappy nerds.
Oh gosh, God, don't get me started. That scene is so dumb. Because when he bursts the name out, it's like, no one knows who that is aside from Trek fans. Like, just, you've done nothing in this movie to make that I Khan. It's like, okay, who gives a shit? In this movie, yeah, go ahead.
There have been very few times that I've sworn in a movie theater out loud. One of them was in Superman Returns, when that security guard bashes Lois's head against a globe, and there was like a 4-year-old kid next to me, and I go, "Oh shit!" Because that was really hard and surprised the hell out of me. Oh yeah, because the piano stops playing and it kind of comes out of no. Yeah. That's true. And then when with the Khan announcement, and you know, to help our YouTube viewership, I will not say the word that I used, but you can bleep it out. Fix it in post. Yeah, it's just like, oh, fuck you, JJ. I screamed that out loud, and many people laughed. Yeah. And then hilarity. Yeah, it didn't get a cuss from me. I just rolled my eyes, just like I did with the Khan's blood and everything. Yeah, that we'll hate on that in another segment. Hate on that in another segment. All right, folks. So we have coming up next on the docket this Friday. I'll be pushing out a review for John Henry. It's featuring Terry Crews and Ludacris. It's a modern retelling of the John Henry story. It's on Netflix right now, so you can rent it on some other services. But if you already have a Netflix account, it's free for you to watch it there.
Later this weekend, we'll be doing our Penny Dreadful episode 5 impressions. So if you've been following along with me there, I'll be knock out my video review and written review there as well. And if you love Battlestar Galactica, we are in week May 25th. So check out the episodes that are available for you to watch there, and join us on our live session on Monday. So let's talk about what to watch this weekend. We already talked about John Henry, but maybe wait till my review comes out, see if that's going to be something that you want to check out. And again, Wonder Woman, we're doing our rewatch show on Monday. So if you want to check that out this weekend, and then you can come and check out our show. What I'm going to recommend, though, I've been watching Dan Murrell's new YouTube show, because he split off from Screen Junkies. Has been very good. He gets really nerdy on like box office numbers and charts. But if you don't know, Dan really loves Jaws. He really loves Jaws. And it's been a while since I'd watched Jaws. I had to pull it off my shelf. And there's a couple things that he highlighted about the characters that just shines through more after that rewatch. You pick it up, especially when they're on the boat and these character threads coming together, as far as like what Brody has in him as an inexperienced person on the sea compared to Quinn and Hooper, and just like how they play off of each other. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a masterclass in making a trio work in a very short time. Because you think about their screen time together in the movie, it's not that much. It's like you got to until they actually get on the boat. So to lead up to that moment when they get on the boat, and then afterwards, they get a bunch of screen time after that part. But before that, there's not a lot. It's either Brody or Hooper, or it's Quinn just doing some weird shit on the that iconic scratch down the blackboard. Or on the chalkboard rather. So yeah, really liked going back. I've always loved Jaws, but I don't know. I just had a really nice rewatch. So go watch Dan Murrell's just love letter to Jaws. It can pull out some things you may or may not have known about the movie, and then go watch the movie. And I think it's a really nice way to accompany it. So what you got, Tom?
So one thing I watched this past weekend, just for some reason, edibles might have been involved in the decision. I watched Animal House, and Animal House is still the same Animal House. So don't recommend you watching that necessarily if you've already seen it 5 times. You don't need to watch it again. I'm picking up Empire from 2015 on. Powerful actors in Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson, and you do yourself a service by going to see that movie or see that show. I'm about 3/4 of the way through season 1. Thank you, Insomnia. And so far it's a compelling, interesting story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the music's fantastic.
Yeah, because what did you say? Timbaland was producing it?
Yep, Timbaland's the music producer.
So yeah, that means you're gonna have really solid tracks all the time.
Also, if you enjoy old school hip hop, people like actually not old school, it's technically new school, but it exhibits regular character. Snoop Dogg shows up. A bunch of rappers wanting to be actors.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Jam Fight for New York, but in a TV show. Should also check my thoughts on that coming out soon. I've been kind of
no Fat Joe, I don't think.
Yeah, just give it time. Gosh, that fight was hard with Fat Joe. God. All right. Folks, as always, if you want to see our videos, you can check us out on YouTube and hit that subscribe button for us while you're on there. Or if you prefer watching us on Facebook, you can always hit that subscribe button on the Facebook version as well. And again, our podcast is available pretty much anywhere except for Apple right now. I promise, we're working on it. Anywhere that you can stream your podcast. That's been your Wednesday edition of the Commander Ship Show, and we will see you on Friday.